If you were given $50,000 so you could chase your dream, what dream would you chase? I'd buy a dirt farm and race bikes and things like that. You can just buy shitty land in East Texas and let people come ride their bikes and ATVs for a fee. Get yourself a backhoe, build some berms. It can be as profitable as any farm on the same amount of land all day and twice on Sunday. Stay in the military as a career E4. Invest in a few stocks, get a nice car, work out at the gym, go to the strip occasionally, and never have to worry about rent cause you are single and live in the barracks. Only occasionally have to put up with some BS, but it is manageable. By the time you retire at around a 10-year mark, you'll have saved up a fuck ton more money to live life as you see fit, and college tuition is free so no debt. For most people $50,000 is just gonna allow them to live a slightly more comfortable version of their current life rather than any dream scenario. It's not like you can stop working for any significant amount of time on $50,000. I imagine 99% of people would end up paying off debt, adding it to savings. I guess a lot of people dream of being debt-free, or just in less debt, or having slightly more savings, but that probably isn't the answer this question is looking for. I've produced and host my own burlesque circus. I've wanted to take it on the road for years, but the way my live events work, you have to pay for everything in advance and don't make a penny until the night of the show. Hotel, flights, performer fees, all of it. $50,000 would finally get me and my crew on the road, letting me snowball each night's income to staying in the road and living the dream. So I've actually had this happen recently, coming into unexpected money. A little more than the amount posted though. We decided to purchase property in a different state, pack up and sell the house, and move into a fifth wheel until we have saved enough, with the sale of the current house, to build our dream home on the property. I put my notice in at my job and got a remote position that was a small pay cut, and my so was already able to work remotely. Admittedly, we had this idea for a while and the money just jump-started what we had already started researching and planning for. I can't wait to have a chicken coop and a lovely garden and adopt more dogs. I have 10 adopted guinea pigs. A lot of people have only one pig when they are herd animal and they need others. With $50,000 I can adopt 10, 20, 90, 100 or even more and give them 3-4 years full lifetime of guinea pigs. In heaven on earth, it's hard to give heaven to people, dogs or cats, but guinea pigs love to be in the herd. I have a lot of space, so only my salary is blocking me for getting more piglets. Don't breed, adopt, love and feed. Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a fucking big television, choose washing machines, cars, compact disc players and electrical tin openers. Choose good health, low cholesterol, and dental insurance. Choose fixed interest mortgage repayments. Choose a starter home. Choose your friends. Choose leisure wear and matching luggage. Choose a 3-piece suit on hire purchase in a range of fucking fabrics. Choose DIY and wondering who the fuck you are on Sunday morning. Choose sitting on that couch watching mind-numbing, spirit-crushing game shows, stuffing fucking junk food into your mouth. Choose your future. I would try to help my mom pay off debts. She feels shackled and stuck in her life. Her job is physically straining and emotionally abusive. She is also in an abusive relationship and I think it would help her move away from that situation. I just want her to live a good life. She's had a horrible one since childhood but keeps persevering. If anything was left over, I would ask her to seek therapy or mental help of some sort to work through all her trauma. I just want my mom to be okay, man. I'd open an after-school, free, non-profit educational activity place, like arts, science, hobby-style programs that also offers classes on how to cook, basic sewing, business math, budgeting, taxes, taking out loans, resume and college application help, just a community center to help people get ready for adulthood. But also a fun, safe place for kids and teens to go after school to hang out and be kids and teens. $50K isn't much, but maybe it's enough to get more investors and my foot in the door. Pay down student loans and other debts, down payment on a house so I could hopefully start paying a mortgage instead of rent. Surprisingly, mortgage is cheaper. Then, hopefully my boyfriend could use the decreased monthly payments to work part-time, go back to school and get his master's. I don't really have extravagant dreams or anything. I just want to live simply and comfortably. A house would be damn nice. $50,000 isn't going to last long, but it could at least be a start. I've run a small show for 13 years in Orlando. At the same time, I wrote, directed, and managed a larger budget show for people who had money. My small show was always successful, but I was never able to take it to the same level because of how small our budget has been. I would hire the right marketing person to get the show onto the same playing field as our less entertaining competitors that would allow me to make sure my performers are paid fairly and taken care of. All I ever want is to make sure my performers are taken care of. The bigger show made that a real challenge. Buy a house with a barn, refurbish the barn to have little rooms in the stables, and rent out the rooms for cheap to kids that are having a hard time and need a place to stay to clear their heads. I'd also have some garden space and animals so we can continue to make money, and the renters could help me with them to earn their keep and teach them about working. I would chase the dream of owning a food truck, a dream I've been chasing for over 12 years now. I took cooking classes in high school which led to me going to culinary school, and the entire time my only dream was to ever own a food truck. Unfortunately, I've acquired too many bills and have had to take employment in a different field, so it's been put on the far back burner for now. $50,000 could easily find me a serviceable enough truck that would allow me to quit my job in healthcare I hate and actually pursue something that makes me happy. Buy a nice camera and some lenses and buy a dress form and some cool fabric and leather tools and stuff and make bikinis and clothes and make harnesses and take cool photos and sell them the clothes and harnesses, and merge with my boyfriend's custom shoe thing and buy stuff for his shoe thing too so he can make cool shoes and heels and boots to go W my harnesses and become an apparel thing. Then invest in cryptocurrency or stock market or something so I have a nest egg. I'd join the Russian military and make myself up the ranks until I got into the Spetsnaz. Then I would stay in the military for 5 years. Once I left the military, I would recruit some of the Spetsnaz soldiers that left with me. I would pay then $2K for every person who joined my cause. I'd spend $20K on weapons and invest $10K into the stock market. Then over the course of 2 years, the money I invested into the stock market would become 10 times over. With the $100K I got from the stock market, I would buy used American JLTVs, at least 2 of them. I would then use the JLTVs and fly them and my team out to some Middle Eastern country and raid military camps and take everything we fit in our JLTVs, recruiting the best soldiers that we could find. Over the course of 10 years, I would invest more of the money I have in stocks and become very rich while doing contracting on the side. I would buy helicopters and tanks and more JLTVs. Once my team count reached about 300, we would storm the Russian government and overthrow them. I would have complete control over Russia, or something like that. Rent for a small place for several years, invest $10,000, buy a beater, and record my podcasts with actual soundproofing instead of blankets and more camping. but mostly just using my new free time to help the people in my life with things without being worried about my own life falling apart if I focus on them too much. Give myself 5 years of some sort of peace. Hopefully my investments turn out alright. If not, then back to work. What dream are you chasing with 50k? Like a really nice vacation? 50k doesn't pay for school or a house or ... I mean, guess live carefree for a year and go back to work with the buffer shield? Sure, you could start chasing a dream, but when that 50k is gone, if you're not making substantially more money at the end of it, you're just wasting your time. BC, you're gonna lose it all. Plan an elaborate heist to rob Bill Gates for however many millions of dollars he used to wipe his nose with this year. ... That sounds doable on 50k. Honestly, $50,000 would only buy me a few months, as I'm the sole breadwinner for my family, but I would love to take the time off to finish writing a novel I started in my early 20s. I'm 40 now but stopped to work multiple jobs and learn more. I work in fintech IT. I love my family and gave up nearly all my free time to be with them and all, but I love the opportunity to try and meet the greats like Stephen King, Sanderson, and work them on movies and such. I'd like to believe anyone can do anything, but maybe we're all just meant to be pawns to bad choices or fate. Good luck to anyone with the shot at their dreams. Chase and catch them if you can. I was underemployed for most of my youth. I would have had so many answers to this question in my 20s and 30s even. Now in my early 50s and I have access to more than that, and the only thing I am chasing now is time and health. I wish I had time to enjoy everything I have built up and the health to do so. COVID has hit me hard and I'm the unhealthiest I've ever been. Hoping to start back up and slowly regain my health enough to enjoy some travel again. I guess the best dream to have is to be able to focus on multiple aspects of your life at once so you're more resilient to everything, whether it's finances, stress, work, personal life or health. Cannabis breeder. It's what I've wanted to do since I was 14 years old. So a good 20 years now. I want to focus on strains for people with cancer or people who suffer from extreme pain. My mother died of cancer when I was 26 and one of my close friends had terrible news that was messed up by the doctors during his surgery. He will be in pain for the rest of his life. I really want to be able to bring relief for people like that, because I know what it's like to be a family member on the side watching someone you love be in pain, knowing full well there isn't anything you can do. I would get all of my medical expenses taken care of. I just paid off technical school and own my beater car outright. Car needs a few repairs and I owe my family a little bit of money for school, but I've really got to get my medical stuff taken care of. I need to go to the eye doctor. A diagnosis for my recently developed, thanks COVID, asthma. My arms have been randomly going numb throughout the day, and I need to follow up on the lump in my chest. I'd honestly put 40k into savings/investments/etc, and I keep the 10k in case I get into another accident or have some emergency that requires a couple grand to take care of. I'm constantly afraid of getting into another car accident, so having a little buffer would relieve my anxiety a bit, and I'm too used to working 7 days to stop working. Maybe I'd use some of that 10k to take a 2-week vacation like I've always wanted. Needed. Nothing exciting, but I'm a realist and know my needs. I'd open up a hot dog cart in NYC. I'd grind and fill my own hot dogs with natural casings and 100% grass-fed beef. I'd bake my buns fresh every morning. I'd make my own ketchup, mustard and relish from scratch. All dogs grilled to order. None of this dirty hot water BS. Since I'd hot smoke all my dogs, they'd only need a sear to get 'em hot, ready in 3 minutes. That's it. Just really friggin' good hot dogs. That's my dream. open a soup kitchen for the next town over that has a horrendous homeless situation. They have a tent city with full families living out there, infants, toddlers, kids, and elderly. That would be enough money to have a place to feed everyone a hot meal and give them an opportunity to take a shower and feel human. There's a lot of food pantries in the area, but how can you cook meals if you're homeless? Where would you keep the food to keep it from going bad? It's such a sad situation, and so many want to help and contribute but maybe don't know how. Maybe a hot meal and a shower can help someone for a day. Maybe that could turn into 2 days or a week. Maybe others will see the good and want to help in another way. Who knows how far the kindness can go or how it can help someone? I'm not sure, but this is my 5-year plan. Save up enough to open up a spot and help others, even if it's only by loving them through a home-cooked meal. My fiancé and I want to open a donut shop called Devious Donuts and do breakfast and lunch, a special Sunday brunch and a secret Stony Saturday limited pizza night. We really want an apartment over a restaurant-style thing, or maybe the top 2 floors for living. Whatever really, we both get very excited about being around each other and working just for us. Whatever is available. I'm his small rural town where we plan on making a life for ourselves. We have no dreams of being rich other than my dream car being an orange Porsche. He doesn't care for driving because of his anxiety. Oh, but we do want animals, a couple kitties, 2 corgis named Cinnamon and Toast, maybe an otter, lizards and possibly a sugar glider, : No one else has to read or like this. Talking about a comfortable life with the one person who makes me fuzzy inside has made my night. Be a full-time freelance illustration artist. I currently make a portion of my money from art, but am working 20 hours a week at another job unrelated that soaks up some of my mental energy. I think I could stay afloat if I quit my job today and put those hours toward art stuff, but it's a risk, and $50K would be more than enough to give me a safety net and survive a year or 2 to make it happen. I divide it into 2 parts and invest 1 part in index ETF, bonds, dividend stocks and what else is above the market, and use the second half as first mortgage payment for some property. Then I rent it out and pay off my first mortgage. Then I get a second one and do the same. Then third. By the time I am happy with how much assets I gathered, I do some community service stuff, like build a playground or create a swimming pool for my city or whatnot. These $50K would drag me out of poverty pretty damn fast. I'd like to try my hand at opening a perfumery business. Over the last few years I've been slowly learning how to create fine perfumes using a mixture of natural and synthetic ingredients, which is tricky since there's not much in the way of online or physical how-to-level info. It's also quite costly for the materials, even when scaled up, so it's not something I'd gamble on independently. It's very much a fun hobby and outlet for creativity right now, nothing more. Well, this will get buried, but here goes. I'd continue to write stories that make me happy from my local community and region that's been shed on from all sides for the last 50 years. I'd use some of it to open a used bookstore that would double as a community center. I even have the building picked out. I'd spend every waking minute trying to make my little corner of the world a better place, if only. I would visit every country on my bucket list, or at least, all of the ones that are safe to visit as a black woman. I've always wanted to tour Europe and I'd like to see Ethiopia, Ghana, South Africa, and Brazil. I'd also like to see the Taj Mahal, the pyramids of Giza. Did I botch that? And certain parts of East Asia. But traveling is only a secondary passion. My primary dream is writing. I'd publish my own book and I'd probably start an online blog where I document the events about my travels and the things I learned from natives. Dorky stuff like that. What money I wouldn't use, if there could possibly be any left amount, I'd probably just give to someone who needs it. Most likely, I'd give to my younger brother to help him get through school. Civil engineering is an expensive-ass major, even with federal aid. 50 isn't enough, I feel, but I would want to get an apartment and live in NYC and become a writer, journalist. Then I want to someday publish a successful novel, but I think I'll just give it to my mom because she deserves it. If not that, then go somewhere far, visit the scenic lake, most likely somewhere in Canada. Then stay there for a while, just embrace nature, and then when I'm ready, I would swim in the lake and drown. That's my dream way of dying.